Welcome back to Thriving in Love podcast. We are in season 2 of the show. I am so excited. I took 3 weeks off because I moved back to LA. My husband got an incredible job opportunity and we were able to rent out our place in Seattle, and we are now investment property owners, which I did not plan for, but I was always writing it down and manifesting it in my journal and my visioning. And it's so funny how the universe can literally just change your life and provide what you want when you just get out of your own damn way. So that's what I want to talk about today. Starting season 2 off with some tough love, because this is something that I wish I knew when I was starting my journey, is that everything that you truly desire is on the other side of radical accountability. And I know I talked about accountability in season 1. And if you haven't heard it yet, go listen to that episode. But today I actually want to go in deeper, because it's easy to become aware of what is wrong or where we're holding ourselves back. It can be easy to get stuck in that energy of that self-loathing and the self-hating and the self-blaming. And that's not what this episode is about. That's not what accountability is about. Accountability is, yes, you ask yourself, am I the problem? Especially when you're entering into new situations, but you're experiencing the same thing. It is the same repeat of, maybe your dating life is just finding and dating the same person over and over again. Maybe in your career or with your clients, you're meeting people that just aren't recognizing the greatness of you, and you're not being recognized for the gifts that you have to offer. And you may be feeling really frustrated in getting to that next level, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your spirituality, whether it's in your connections and friendships with other people. It's all related. So the way all of those things are operating in your external reality are a direct reflection of how deeply have you looked at your own shadows. And if you're interested in diving deeper into shadow work, I am hosting my first ever masterclass on January 22nd at 2 p.m. Pacific. Replay will be available, and the link is below if you would like to join. We're going to go do a deep dive on what shadow work is and why it's important for us to start shadow work and how we can radically change our life just through doing shadow work. But today, let's get back to accountability. You can't begin to do shadow work until you're ready to look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I the problem? And if yes, where am I keeping myself small? Where am I stopping myself from expressing more of my fullness? Where am I self-sabotaging? Where am I limiting myself from stepping into a version of me that I know I can be? And why am I doing it? So the why is equally as important. A lot of us are aware of what we're doing, how we're doing it, but the next step is the most important part, is why do I keep doing these things? Why am I keep reaching for these coping mechanisms? Why am I self-abandoning? Why am I not doing what I know I'm supposed to do in order for me to have what I want? Sometimes it really is just you blocking your own opportunities for more. And this isn't to say that you should hate yourself even more. I want this to empower you. I want this to inspire you. I want this to motivate you. I want this for you to listen to it and sit with it and breathe it into your body. And I want you to walk away after this episode feeling so fucking motivated and inspired to do something different. One thing. You don't have to radically change your whole life. Every single thing that I have experienced in the 2 years of my massive growth journey, it has been night and day if you compare long term, but I haven't done anything drastically different. Every single thing that I did was so minimal, so small, because our bodies cannot hold extreme change. Your nervous system is going to go into overdrive, your flight or fight is going to get activated, and you're going to go into survival mode if you try to make big changes. This is why New Year's resolutions don't work. This is why when you have big lofty dreams and goals and you try to radically change your whole life, it doesn't stick. And that's because as human beings, We are wired to stick with routines and habits that feel comfortable. So in order to get out of your comfort zone, you need to start taking small action steps that won't feel like a massive shift. So for instance, I have a client that is going through a transition right now in her career, and she's really looking to lean more into her passions. And she's just hitting a block and not really understanding why. She has changed so much in her relationships, in her personal development, and she's doing really great. But when it comes to her career, the block is that she doesn't know where to go, she doesn't know what to do, and she doesn't know where to start. You cannot move forward without clarity. So the first thing I told her to do was have a morning writing practice where you just put pen to paper, free flow, whatever comes up, whatever comes out. Because in order to clear the blocks within us, we must be willing to get some of the murkiness out first. In order for there to be a flow of clean, clear energy, we need to move old, stuck energy. And you can't do that just like radically changing your life. So start small, 10 minutes a day. Even if that's too big of a lofty goal, just start right now, put the timer on for 10 minutes and start writing and see what comes out. And if it feels good to you, try again tomorrow. And if it doesn't feel good to you, then maybe something else is going to be what works for you. So you have to find something that feels easy and joyful, otherwise you're not going to stick with it. And it's your responsibility to find what that modality or that practice is that is sacred to you that also feels really fulfilling and joyful. So we can sit here and complain that our life is stagnant and we're feeling stuck and we're just going through the motions of the day-to-day and nothing is changing. You could be trying to eat healthier, you could be trying to go to the gym, or you could even go for your nature walks, but it's not really going to shift until you're ready to actually go all in on creating a relationship with your inner self, your energy, your shadows, your habits and behaviors that you don't want to face because they're comfortable. So for me, when I was living with my husband in New York City, I used to complain all the time about how he's not loving me enough, he's not giving me enough attention, we just sit around and watch TV all day and our life is so boring. And I was just projecting so much negativity onto this poor man when all I needed to do was just get out the door and go find things that I enjoyed to do. Nobody was stopping me. I was making my own money. I had my own friends, but I was choosing comfort. So when I was ready to really look at myself in the mirror and be like, wow, I am literally the one that is causing my own unhappiness, it wasn't easy. It was the hardest shit ever. It sucked. When you face the reality, like, oh shit, I am blaming my husband. I am blaming New York. I am blaming COVID. I am blaming my friends for being too busy. I'm blaming everyone and everything around me. Oh, everybody just wants to drink and I want deeper connections. Oh, I'm so high and mighty because I want this and this and that. Nobody else around me does, so I'm stuck not being able to do it. When you realize that the amount of power that you have in owning your own shit, it's the most liberating thing in the world. Because yeah, it fucking sucks at first to face that darkness and be like, damn, why am I doing this? But then you get to the root and you ask yourself, when have I not been able to do the things that I wanted to do? And it really starts to unravel some deep inner child healing. And that's how you begin to get to the root of your mother wound, your father wound, your ancestral wounds, and see that it's not because of you. It is ingrained in your DNA to blame others, to control others, to try to manipulate everyone and everything around you. That's codependency. I know a lot of people think that codependency is when you're like obsessed with someone, it's anxious attachment style, yada, yada, yada. But for me, it was more about me wanting to control everyone and everything around me so that I could be happy. And that's so fucked up. Like, that's not cute. Instead of accepting my husband fully for the love that he has to give me and facing that head on and being like, okay, he's trying so hard, let me celebrate that and appreciate that and have gratitude for that, instead of just complaining and nagging all the time. And that's when I realized that instead of asking for more from my husband, I need to give myself more. Instead of complaining that I don't have any friends that like to do things outside of drinking, I need to put myself in situations like go to a class, go to a cooking class alone, so that I'm forced to talk to people and make new friends. Just trying things, getting out of my own damn way. And that's what it is. It could be a very joyful journey. The realization is dark and it sucks. But once you realize the power that you have to make the changes that you need to make in order to have the life that you want to live, you become unstoppable because there's no one and nothing in your way but you. In the past 2 years of my life, I always think that I'm going to get to a point where once I have something, then I'll be happy. But then I made the switch and I started to see so many glimmers of joy and happiness all around me. And I realized that we're not really waiting for anything. Like, yes, we have goals and dreams and we want more and this and that. But once we have the more, it's not going to make us happy or feel fulfilled. You're going to need to find that sense of fulfillment right here, right now, with your feet in the grass, right here, right now. And if you can't do that, if you can't accept where you're at, you're always going to be searching. And searching equals suffering. And I don't want you guys to suffer. I want you guys to experience like the wholeness of the human experience while simultaneously understanding that you are a spiritual being with unlimited superpowers and finding the balance between the two. And for me, that's been the hardest part, is knowing that I am capable of so much, but then also knowing that my human vessel has so many limitations. So finding that connection between my soul and my human vessel, it has been so humbling, but also really liberating. And once I accepted the limitations, it actually unlocked a lot of other gifts, things that I'm able to do because I'm a human. Like look at the sunsets, enjoy the sunrise, feel the wind on my skin, put my feet in the grass, breathe, enjoy delicious food, cuddle with my husband. Like, yes, I am extremely ambitious and I have a lot of big dreams and goals. And I can also fully experience where I am right here, right now. Find the glimmers while you're on your journey of healing your shadows. Because sometimes you can get really stuck in the mud when you're on your healing journey. And I got there where I was just so focused on trying to get all of that gunk out. And you can get really lost in that space too. So make sure you're balancing the healing with experiencing the fullness of life. I hope this episode was helpful. I hope this gave you a little bit of inspiration and motivation to get out there and try something new. Maybe try a new experience, maybe try a new class, maybe just go take a walk at a beach, maybe go for a hike, maybe write in your journal, because the journaling thing really is what changed my entire life. And it is a non-negotiable for me now every single morning. I don't care what happens. I don't care where I am. I go on a trip. I take my journal with me. I don't have my journal with me. I do it on my phone. It is a non-negotiable for me. 10 minutes every single morning. When I don't do it, I notice myself just scatterbrained and just not grounded. And I'm just like more irritable. I'm just a little lost. I'm just like roaming through and not really like clear-headed and like focused on my day. And I think focus is incredibly important. Yes, we talk a lot about feminine energy on this podcast, but being in your masculine energy is equally as important. So creating structure for the flow to have a container, otherwise it can get chaotic and you can get lost in the noise. And I don't want that for you. All right, guys. Well, if you're interested in beginning your shadow work journey, I have a free masterclass on January 22nd. I hope you'll join. I will send you the replay if you can't make it live. I hope you make it live. I am working on my signature course to help you guys become more integrated into your wholeness and unlock your authentic code so you can become magnetic. I'm telling you guys, it is insanely amazing to be in a place where you just become a magnet to all that you desire with peace and ease. I hope to see you in the masterclass. And until then, I'll see you guys next week.